Former President Trump made his first public reappearance over the weekend, telling loyalists at CPAC that he wants to get rid of Republicans who supported his second impeachment.
The Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, and in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger.
Joining us now is Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger.
You got a free syllable.
People do have a hard time with your last name, by the way.
They do. Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you've said you consider that moment a badge of honor, and I understand where you are. But do you, when you hear the applause and you hear the enthusiasm of the crowd there, the base, the Republican base at CPAC, do you ever worry that you're the outsider, that you're not where the party is?
Yeah, that is a worry. It's not a worry because I'm, worried about my future and, oh, heavens, I might lose an election. It's a worry because if that is where the party fully is, and CPAC's usually, it's kind of a little different of a group. It may not be this year, but if that's where the party is, the party's in real trouble because what that's showing is you had 17 people between the House and Senate that said that an insurrection on the Capitol was impeachable and removable. And even if you didn't believe it, but you thought it was bad, that's one thing. But what they seem to be doing there is saying that we were completely wrong for actually defending the Constitution. And so that where I would be worried is not so much on what it means for me. I mean, if I think I'm going to win, but if I'm out of this job, okay, I'll move on. It's what it would mean for the party.
Did you really think that his speech was boring, low energy, and weak, as you wrote?
I really did, because I think if that was the first time we had heard Donald Trump speak, it would be shocking, all that stuff. But it was the same exact. I mean, you could have given that speech in September, and with the exception of having talked about impeachment, it would have been the same speech he gave this time. He had no new ideas. It was just, to me, it looked like somebody that just needed his monthly dose of adoration in front of a crowd. So I really was bored. I watched it because I knew he was going to call my name out, and I wanted to be able to, to know how to respond and what was said. But it was a hard speech to get through because I was just looking at my phone a lot, as you can tell by the number of tweets I heard.
Well, here's another one that I found interesting. Nikki Haley thought that was a strong speech. She said, strong speech by President Trump about winning policies of his administration and what the party needs to unite behind moving forward. The liberal media wants a GOP civil war. Not going to happen. And you responded, geesh, what happened to you? Sad.
Yeah.
How do you explain Nikki Haley?
I don't know, because I thought when she came out of her job, she was going to be a strong contender for the presidency. And then she came out and kind of blamed Trump for January, then didn't blame him, then did. And then it's you can't walk a tightrope if you're a Republican leader, and especially if you're looking for 2024. I think you have to pick a lane. You're either a Trump-first Republican like Josh Hawley, like Ted Cruz, or you're a country-first Republican. I can't really think, I can think of Larry Hogan from Maryland that's kind of going the country-first lane. And so I feel like Governor Haley's trying to have it kind of both ways, and you can't. Look, you can, as a party, you can win, I guess, some of the Trump base, yes, but you cannot have fealty to Donald Trump and then say that the country is the most important thing, because he demands that he be the most important thing.
Let's talk about what's going to happen today. About 2 hours from now, FBI Director Christopher Wray is going to appear in front of Congress for the first time since the January 6th insurrection. He's going to go in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And two of those aforementioned senators, Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz, are on that committee. They voted after the insurrection against certifying the election results. And so when Director Wray appears, how's this going to go? What are these questions going to be like? Are we going to get answers for what the FBI knew and what went wrong here?
I think we'll get some answers, but look, all you had to do was see Josh Hawley's smug face at CPAC as he stood in front, getting this adulation from the crowd about how he you might have seen I rejected and he's out there like feeling great about it. Like, there are 5 people dead, 2 that took their own life on top of that as a result of what you did. It was embarrassing for us around the world. It's actually, for me as a guy that's involved in foreign policy, it's been difficult for me to talk to other countries about how to do democracy in the wake of that. But as long as you're the most important thing and you can run for president, that's great. So in my mind, look, I think these people like Holly are going to not be the contenders in 2024. I actually have an optimistic view of the future of the party, which I know is kind of hard to imagine now, but I hope we get some answers today. And we need a dose of humility too, I think. But
you don't think he's going to run, or you don't think he'll get any traction?
Oh, I'm sure he'll run. And, because what do they say? Like the old joke for senators, what most senators say when they look in the mirror in the morning, good morning, Mr. President. And he certainly is one of those. I mean, since he's gotten in, he thinks he can entertain and adore crowds, and it works. Look, the base loves him. Where I lost a lot of respect for him was not I'm probably as conservative as he is. The difference is I am not going to use the Constitution as a prop to get elected and violate the Constitution as a prop to get elected. He knew, he's one of the smartest guys in the Senate. He knew that he shouldn't have objected to those results. I mean, before the days of Twitter, Congress didn't know all these allegations about every election. We just knew that we would certify whatever electors were brought to us. And so that was our role, and he knew that.
Senator Ted Cruz was asked yesterday by CNN what he thought of President Trump's CPAC speech, and I think we have that moment. Give me a moment. Yeah, listen to this.
I wanted to ask you about some of the president's comments yesterday.
I didn't see him.
You didn't watch President Trump's speech?
I don't believe it. But, okay. Maybe he didn't.
But why would he say that? If you're currying favor with the base, why would he say that?
I don't know. I don't know why, Ted Cruz would say anything he says or doesn't say. I just know. Maybe I wouldn't have watched the president's speech. I guess I can't say for sure I know he did, because I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't think he was going to address me. But, I think, look, it was the high watermark of the president, of the post-presidency. This is like when everybody's going to pay attention to him. And I think now going forward, the president's out of new ideas. And I just think he's going to get less and less attention. That's going to drive him nuts, by the way.
So you really think he's going to get less and less attention? I mean, that doesn't seem to be his plan. Why?
Well, yeah, that's not his plan. But as somebody once told me, they said America doesn't necessarily solve problems; they just leave them behind. Right? America moves on, and I think that's about the American people. Is we do move on from has-beens and from losers. And Donald Trump is a loser. He lost the presidential race, and so while at this moment people are defending, thinking he won, we all know he didn't win. And I think people will just move on. It doesn't mean that the party's going to heal itself, but I think it means that Trump is going to be less and less important. And so for me, I launched this Country First, country1st.com, about a competing narrative and vision in the Republican Party for an optimistic, hopeful, kind of adult-driven future, and not what we've been dealing with lately.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, thanks so much for your candid thoughts with us this morning. Great to talk to you.
You bet.
He's approaching like full Bulworth right there at this point. I don't think he's on the Josh Hawley Christmas list anymore, is my hunch.
Well, he did say he's one of the smartest guys.
Yeah, if Josh Hawley saw that and not the really smug part and tears up the Constitution to get elected, he might not like that part as much.